Hello everybody, KVUE Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here with an update on our fire weather forecast for Tuesday, March 4th. We are tracking extreme fire danger. Here across Central Texas, we have issued a weather impact alert day for this, basically all day on Tuesday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. We have the entire ingredient list for fire weather concerns. Strong winds, low humidity, warm temperatures, and very dry soil as a result of the ongoing drought across our area. So what you need to do, obviously no outdoor burning in this type of weather, and also just review your fire plan. And we're going to talk a little bit about what kind of steps should be in that fire plan and some of the preparedness stuff that you can do ahead of time. That's coming up here in just a few minutes. Red flag warning. Yesterday, this was a fire weather watch. It's now been upgraded. Red flag warning all day on Tuesday. This includes the I-35 corridor, Williamson County, Round Rock, into the Austin Metro, down into Hays County, and all of our KVUE area. Again, we have the entire checklist of ingredients for tomorrow. With that being said, the driving ingredient is just how strong the winds are going to be tomorrow. We have a wind advisory that's in the beige for all of our KVUE area with the exception of Mason County, which is under an even higher alert, a rare high wind warning. So we're talking a west wind, so it's coming from the west like that, sustained 25 to 35 miles per hour with gusts that could be as high as 55 miles per hour. And in Mason County, in the high wind warning area, wind gusts could be as high as 60 miles per hour. Now, think about this. These are not going to be thunderstorm winds. These are just going to be like straight line gradient winds. It's going to be sunny, no storms at all by the afternoon. The criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning, though, is 58 miles per hour. So we're going to have many areas close to that criteria, if not hitting it, over Mason County, not from thunderstorms, but because of these strong pressure gradient winds behind this Pacific cold front, which is coming in for Tuesday morning. So let me show you the model data. Here's 5 a.m. Tuesday. This looks like mainly just rain showers, not a big severe threat in the Austin area, but this is what I want to keep an eye on. Again, the main takeaway from this is the fire weather concern, but there's also low end strong storm potential, especially for the northern hill country. There's 5 a.m. Eventually we get this very thin line or broken line of showers and maybe a few embedded stronger storms in there. Low end potential for maybe some small hail or gusty winds. I don't see a tornado threat. And again, I think for the most part, this is just going to be very quick moving showers coming through. Here's 9 a.m. Then as we go to the afternoon, quickly, we're to sunshine, temperatures soar into the 70s, and it is going to be incredibly windy across Central Texas. Severe weather potential much higher, North Texas into Oklahoma, level 3. But a new update from the Storm Prediction Center does include our northern hill country areas in a level 1 severe risk. Again, low end potential overnight into very early on Tuesday. Then as we go through the day on Tuesday, another enhanced risk, a big severe threat for parts of northeast Texas into the deep south. But for us, it's not storm potential. That's the headline. It's fire weather and wind. Speaking of future wind gusts, so here's 1 o'clock on Tuesday. We are talking 40 to 50, which will be widespread. And again, southern I-35 corridor, especially into the hill country, 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gust will be possible. Outside of the fire weather threat, anything loose out in the yard, make sure that's secured or brought in. This is definitely the type of wind that could blow some trash cans down the street in addition to the fire weather threat. Here's the fire weather outlook from the Texas A&M Forest Service. And this is not something that you see every day. In the peach, that is very high. Then for the rest of our KVUE area, that red, that's the top of the scale, extreme. So what I'm about to say, I'm obviously not trying to say this to scare anybody. I'm just trying to be transparent to tell you what type of situation we're dealing with here. This is the most extreme fire weather threat that we have had at least over the past several years. You know, we typically have several red flag warnings. They're not very infrequent, especially as we go late winter into the spring. But this is not just an everyday threat, just because of how strong these winds will be, how warm temperatures will be, and how dry stuff is given the drought situation. This is the type of weather where big fires can develop. Again, I hope that doesn't happen. Fire weather is always a little tricky. For a fire to happen, it takes a spark, so it doesn't matter how big all the ingredients are. If no spark is there, there's not going to be a fire. But unfortunately, this is the type of weather where things can develop and they can spread very quickly. So some things to think about as far as fire preparedness tips. Clear any brush away from your home. So you don't want, leaves, twigs, branches that are kind of a bridge from the brush line or the tree line into your home. Obviously, we want a clear path to try to mitigate the fire risk. Know your potential evacuation route. Again, evacuation is a strong word, but just kind of think of it. Okay, if I needed to get out of my neighborhood in a hurry, there's a fire threat, how would I do so? Start to think about that. Then have your emergency supply kit ready to go. And these are good tips. Hopefully we don't have any fires at all tomorrow, but maybe there'll be a fire a year from now or 5 years from now. Just good things to go over with your family so that if something ever happens, everybody's on the same page and they're prepared. But think about phone chargers, important documents and stuff like that. Just make sure you're prepared ahead of time tomorrow. And I really hope we don't have to use any of those tips. But unfortunately, based on what I'm seeing just with the straight weather data, I think the conditions will be there. I hope nothing develops, but the ingredients will be there tomorrow. So weather impact alert, not for storms, but for fire danger on Tuesday. Although there will be a little thin line of showers, maybe a storm in the morning. It's not going to be enough rain, though, to mitigate this fire threat for the afternoon. Then as we go to Wednesday and Thursday, we're a little cooler behind this front. Mornings will be in the 40s. Afternoon, we're looking at low 70s. There will still be some fire threat for Wednesday and Thursday. It looks much lower than Tuesday, but of course that'll be something that we watch. Obviously, if we have any big fires that develop on Tuesday, still with some wind, the conditions could be a little bit dangerous even into Wednesday and Thursday. Then Friday, first day of South by Southwest, we shoot up to 84 degrees. Then it looks like another dry, breezy cold front comes through late Friday into early Saturday. That will drop us down a little bit cooler as we go into the weekend. So that is an update. Again, extreme fire danger for Tuesday. Not trying to scare anybody, just want to give you a heads up. We've got very strong winds and all the other fire weather ingredients, so make sure you stay tuned and stay advised with us right here at KVUE. We'll keep the updates coming.